Well, hello again, everyone. John Fawcett here. A little frustrated with a weather scenario that started with heavy rains earlier than expected and will probably end with a bang a little later than expected. But let's move on. The potential impacts, well, we still have the potential for isolated road closures, not as much of a heavy rain threat as we earlier thought, and yet flash flooding could still be an isolated threat, especially tomorrow. Isolated wind damage, that's an increasing threat as you get drier air aloft over the moisture on Monday afternoon and especially Tuesday afternoon for severe thunderstorms. Now, at the El Paso International Airport, as it cools off this evening, you already saw earlier today how low those cloud ceilings can get and how low the visibility can get with this heavy drizzle and light rain. Well, that may occur again this evening, and it's a slight chance that it could result in delayed arrivals and departures. Speaking of this evening, well, the upper high is too close. The air aloft is a little warm considering, and you've got it cool down here near the surface. So that's a stable air mass. You can't get vertical growth for big thunderstorms. You get a lot of low clouds, dreary skies, and light to maybe moderate rainfall. And that's probably what we'll have this evening. And then the front is not going to provide much lift. It's dissipating. So that's the scenario we have for this evening. You still have Norbert out there west of Baja California. The upper trough to the northwest, those will be players as we go on, at least the upper trough. And let's advance 24 hours to Monday evening. More unstable. That's the big story. The upper high moves further to the east, and it'll be a little more sunshine to get some surface heating. You'll still have plenty of moisture, and that moisture will actually be converging, especially in western, southwestern New Mexico, the closer you get to the Arizona line. So thunderstorms should be area-wide Monday afternoon and evening. A few of those might reach severe levels, and a couple could have locally heavy rainfall for flash flooding. Norbert continues to weaken offshore, and the upper trough a little bit closer. And then Tuesday afternoon, that upper trough has made its move. It's moving to the east. That will push the moisture east, and yet we still have sufficient moisture for thunderstorms, possibly severe thunderstorms. Norbert, meanwhile, is shearing apart. Its lower section remains along the shore. The upper section gets sheared off to the east. That remains a question of how it'll affect us Tuesday evening. And if you look at the Weather Prediction Center's outlook, it's mainly shifted west into Arizona for heavy rainfall. We don't, in their eyes, have much potential for heavy rainfall except for maybe in a few isolated spots. So it transitions more into a strong downburst out of thunderstorms scenario. Uncertainties, well, is there going to be enough wind shear for severe thunderstorms here and there on Monday and Tuesday? At this point, we think so. How quickly will the moisture move out on Tuesday? A lot has to do with what's left of Norbert, and can that be pushed eastward? And then will enough of Norbert be left for heavy rain Tuesday? We're thinking isolated severe thunderstorms, and but let's take a look at this, each day. Keep up with our watches, warnings, forecasts, because this scenario, as you've seen, has not been an easy one to call. The flash flood watch was canceled because the widespread threat doesn't look like it's going to be around anymore. And then as far as watches and warnings in the future, a flash flood warning or two is possible. A few severe thunderstorm warnings for downburst winds possible Monday and Tuesday. Again, summarizing the expected impacts: isolated road closures at best, wind damage, and then an increasing threat from downbursts on Monday and Tuesday, and then again for this evening as it cools off, a slight chance of disruption at the El Paso International Airport for arrivals and departures. So monitor the latest information, and here are on the screen before you our channels that you can monitor what we're talking about: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, our webpage. Thank you for your time, and we may have another one of these, especially as this scenario continues to change.